Alright, we're going to reactivate these. Believe it or not, there's garden beds under here, but we've left it like this for good reason, because this scurvy weed is been protecting the soil in the garden bed. That's why we've left it there. It looks a weedy mess, but it's actually serving a purpose. So what I'm going to do is to come and have a look here. I'm going to pull all this weed off the top, and then see under there we've got that soil has been protected by the weed, and it's been keeping it moist, stopping it from drying out, and basically just keeping that soil in there nice and dormant so that it's ready for another planting. There's nothing wrong with that soil there. So the weeds have done their job, and we're just going to pull them off. We're not going to dig anything over, because we don't need to disturb the soil ever, because we don't want to disturb the biology in there. But we're just going to peel the weed off just so we can get the surface of the soil exposed. And we don't even need to pull the roots out. We don't even have to do any of that. We're just going to peel it back just to expose the soil, and then we're going to take all this stuff down. We're not going to waste it, because this is actually going to go back into the cycle and build more soil again, and then it's going to come back up in time as compost. So see all the biology in here? There's so much biology in here, and that's what you're growing when you leave these beds dormant and you don't let them dry out. All the bugs and the critters, they proliferate, and then as they break down, they return minerals and nitrogen to the soil as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this down. It's going to get composted. Then we're going to bring some ready-made compost back up, and we're going to layer down a good 2 inches of compost over this. And then we're going to put another 2 or 3 inches of mulch over that, and then we're going to plant it out. And when we plant it out, we're going to plant it out bio-intensive. So we're going to pack it out so that in a short amount of time, the plants that we want to grow will cover the surface area, and all these weeds that are in here now, they won't get a start. So they'll still be there dormant, for if we want the bed to go fallow again, they'll come back. But once we get the plants that we want in, they will dominate, and then they'll take over, and we'll end up getting a garden bed full of the things that we want. Okay, here's our weeds. We're not averse to weeds. You grow the weeds because the weeds are part of the fertility cycle, because these weeds, try and take the big stalky stuff out. These weeds will become the part of the fertility cycle. So there's a lot of nitrogen there that's going to make really good compost. So we spread it out, and then I'll probably come back and put a brown layer on top, like some straw. You try and get the chunky bits out, because you want a fine grade material at the end, and it does get a little bit annoying when you've got big chunks of wood. I mean, they'll break down eventually, but we're going through it a bit quicker than it can break down. So the finer you keep the material, the quicker you can use it. So that's a layer there, that's a nitrogen layer. And then This is some we prepared earlier, 12 months earlier. And we'll just take this cage off. It's easier with 2 people, but it's doable. And now we're going to export this back up there. So we'll load some of this in. So everything that we grow, the food, then the weeds, all are a part of the fertility cycle. Right, that's it. That's a 5-minute job. Now we're just going to bring this fertility back in. Now this is all in-house, so this is all human manure, weeds, kitchen scraps, rats, dead chickens, grass clippings, bit of straw for the brown layer. But it's all part of the daily and weekly cycle of the fertility cycle. So it's not like it's extra work to produce this fertility. It's just a byproduct of the systems of the house or of the home economy. It's a cycle. It's not like, oh, we need some fertility, we better make it. It's just like fertility is the byproduct. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to empty a good part of that barrow onto here and get about 2 inches of pure compost. And then what I'll do, I'll just show you on this end here about how it's going to look as I fill it up. We're basically just going to bring it up to that level there, just shy at the top of the garden bed. And then we're just going to come over and put a layer of straw up here, and then that's going to be ready for planting. So this bed, this wasn't fallow. This one we've just harvested some garlic out of this bed and some spinach that was grown the last 6 or 8 months, and we've just harvested about a month ago. So it hasn't gone fallow yet, and the weeds just starting to come in and take it over. But we're going to get in here before then, and this way is even easier. So we've harvested our crop, and we've just got the straw left over from last year's mulching, or last season's mulching, and now we're just going to go straight on the top. So no weeding, no digging. Just going to throw another layer on. And then again, I'm just going to spread that out to about 2 inches or 50 mil. Just do a little bit here to show you. We'll come back and show you it all finished. So all we're going to do is just going to do that over the whole bed. 50 mil of compost. And again, we're going to put another layer of mulch on top to keep this fertility all moist and stop it from drying out. And then we're going to plant out. And if you see down here, you'll see that there's nothing to do in here. There's no need to dig this up, because if you look how easy it is to get into it, this is because of the sand, yeah? This is the coarse sand. So when you do a raised bed, you can customize the soil mix. You don't have to use the endemic soil. You can incorporate some of the endemic soil, but really the raised bed allows you to customize a really premium growing medium. And I always use a good amount, say 30 or 40% coarse sand. And the thing with the coarse river sand is it's always in there, and it's a mineral based product, so there's a good chance it's leaching some minerals into the soil as well. But because that sand is always in there, it's never going to break down, because it's not biological. What it does is it keeps the soil friable. It keeps all the air in the soil. So the biology makes all these little pathways in the soil, and then all the little pathways that they make provide air pockets, which again is one of your elements to growing good healthy food. And then you can see that those air pockets, they go all the way down, right into probably down into the subsoil or the original endemic soil. But this is all via no dig, so it's not disturbing the biology.